It's okay.
There we go. Oops, I forgot to record. Okay, so we're going today. I've just been discussing with Carrie Ann what's going to be the for next week because it's the 23rd of December. I'm in my Christmas jumper. In fact, I was wearing it yesterday for
Very
his.
cute. I
Um,
I have stars, so
have you got stuff? Oh, that's a really nice one. Yeah, let's see it. You have to stand up, so we have to see your
oh,
Christmas jumper.
it's just a little casual thing.
Oh, that's nice. Let mine lights up.
Yeah, look at that. Oh my gosh. I
I
like
know.
that.
I know.
You
It's
have
so
to press a button to get it
yes,
right
yes,
up.
there is. There's a little thing down here that I
Oh,
took.
how cute. How cute. It's very
Um, so yes, I was so to next week because it's the just before Christmas. There's going to be a video of me and this
good.
gentleman, and the reason why I think you'll enjoy this so much is because again, because he was asking about post hypnotic suggestions that we can give for them in order for if their client say that they're because he was the caregiver, if say their wife or their husband is getting bathed or washed or needs to go to the bathroom and or just things just to remind
Yeah.
them, and they do it in a without getting angry, okay, because a lot of times people with a dementia can get or
Right.
just belligerent, say no, I'm not, I don't want
Right.
it. So, and this is something, and it's in the video that you'll be watching next week, but this is something I did with a client of mine, and we had the word zippity doodah. And the
Okay.
reason why no, because I didn't choose that word, you see, she did,
Okay.
because she was a gospel singer, and she was absolutely, just brilliant at singing. Okay. And she chose that one, zippity doodah. So there they are singing away and doing that. So it's just really lovely. Okay. That was their
Mhm.
cue, so that when her and her son, who was her caregiver, if she was starting to be, no, I don't want to, no, that
Yeah.
if we were going down that way of behavior, he would start singing zippity doo da zippity, and she would go zippity, and then they would start singing, and then she would
Mhm.
forget what she didn't want to do,
Yeah.
then he would just go, and he'd take her arm and he would take her to wherever she needed to go. You see,
Yes. Yeah.
different, isn't it? So
Yeah.
that's why we always get curious about what people like to do. And this gentleman, he was saying that his wife really liked sport. Actually, she was a sport. So he would have, I mean, sadly, she's passed now, but he would have, once we've got you washed, we're then going to sit down and watch some I don't know whether it be hockey or ice hockey or basketball or whatever she was into.
Yeah.
And so it's like, oh, I like that. Yes, once I'm washed. You see, it's like once,
Yeah.
and it's very, very heartfelt, this video. So I think you'll enjoy that. It's brilliant learning. And I'm very excited that he will be taking that further. I expect we'll meet him again on here at some point, because I'm very curious as to what he will do, because he's a lawyer in Boston, and
Yeah.
he knows he said he's going to do all the legwork because he thinks that this can help people. He's still helping caregivers now,
Mhm.
to help them navigate their loved ones. He said
And probably their legal rights or whatever too.
he was a very good advocate for his wife,
Yeah.
and he kept saying, no, this isn't right. And he even took her out of her home. Oh my gosh, it's heartbreaking. I'll let you watch it.
Yeah,
It's
I'll watch
sad.
it.
It's very sad.
Or I look forward to that.
Have some tissues.
Yeah.
So I'll make sure that goes up for next week,
Mhm.
and for you to view. So I've put him in touch with Dr. Daniel Nightingale, and we can see what happens then. So that is exciting. Okay, so let us look and see what we have got for this week. This week's, did you get the guide that I sent through? It's about the environment. I sent it through on Friday. It was an email.
Let me
Week
see.
five.
Do I have that one here? I think.
Yeah, week 5. It's creating a dementia-friendly environment.
I don't know if I did or not.
So I think you print them out as well, don't you? I know Gary does.
I usually do, and I'm not seeing it here.
Okay, I sent it out on Friday. I can always forward it to you again.
That's all I can.
I'll just forward it again.
Maybe it had come after I looked at my emails on Friday because I haven't had much of a chance over the weekend. We've had kind of a really whirlwind weekend around
That's
here.
fine. You've got it again. You've got it again. Yeah. Okay, so it's not a problem. Okay, so the reason why it's really important to check the environment. Well, how can we check the person's environment if we don't go to their house?
Yes.
Because it's all very well, we could ask. That's not the same. It's just not the same. Because the caregiver isn't going to know what we're looking for. Okay. And you might be saying, well, have you got a patterned carpet? And they themselves may be going, I don't know, I can't remember. Have I got is there lots of red about? Now, apparently, and I'm still on the fence about this one because I've just come back from my client's house and they wear a lot of red. And he was wearing a red jumper, a sweater, sorry. A jumper in England is the same as a sweater.
Sweater, okay.
We use both words.
Both words are fun.
And they have some other like around red seat pads in their kitchen. So, and it's a big open plan place. So, and it doesn't seem to bother him. Apparently, red for somebody living with dementia can cause anxiety, apparently. Again, I'm always on the fence about that one because red is one of my favorite colors.
Yeah.
And
well, there is,
but it's a stop sign.
With chromotherapy type stuff, there is particular colors that would be more conducive to calmness or,
Yes. So we encourage blue and cream and things like that. You would encourage those. Yellow. Yellow is a great color because it's uplifting. Red can mean, and we're all conditioned. Red means stop. Red can mean danger, and green can mean go. So we are
healing too. Green is very much a healing color. I should go get my chromotherapy glasses that I have that I work with sometimes with this biofeedback program that I use. And it's basically what I do with that is listen to the voice. The voice has all the frequencies in it, and the biofeedback picks up the emotion that's in the voice. And then it balances that emotion out. So when anybody is in a really emotional state, if they would participate with that, can really just kind of calm themselves down, get themselves back to center, because it's kind of a binaural sound that comes from the recording of what the equipment comes up with. And it's linked to color. There's a color aspect to it as well.
Oh, wow. So tell me more. So do you use that with every client? Is it like a little...
I am now using it with every client since I've had the biofeedback stuff for a couple years. And I hadn't used it all that much because I just basically use the basic things. I would use the inner voice and and it does a full body scan type of thing, the frequencies of what's going on in the body and even the brain. Um, and um, and so then it kind of says, okay, this is what's going on, and then it optimizes whatever's going on in the body. But the inner voice is what I am using with almost all my clients now, and they love it because, like you say, they will, they won't necessarily tell you everything, but this equipment, the software picks it up, whatever it is. It's similar to a lie detector test,
Okay.
how it works. So it picks up the frequencies of the voice. It doesn't matter. You could sing happy birthday. You can say, it doesn't matter what you say. It picks up the frequency of the emotion.
Oh, that's brilliant. Now, I think I've come across one of those with Rich Guzzi. He was doing this, and you had to think. And if you were thinking happy thoughts, then it would go ding, 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 ding. I don't know if
No,
that's the same kind
no,
of.
this is completely different. This is really, it's kind of reading the subconscious mind and the emotion, because
Do you,
that's what's happening. That subconscious is communicating with us
do you put a
through emotion.
do you put a thing on your finger and a one in your ear?
No,
Ha,
not
ha,
on this one. With this one, it has head conductors that you put here,
yeah.
which that connects you to the machine. It's got a photo of you, and then whatever the voice is for that day, it picks up. That's the first thing it does.
I mean, that's fascinating. And
It
you're right.
is.
Because I wonder
And it's
how that can
amazing how
be.
well it works. A few weeks ago, I got up in the middle of the night and something I was just thinking about ruminating over and over and over again with and I was thinking, gosh, I want to wake my husband up and remind him or whatever, but I didn't want to wake him up. So anyway, after it kept me up for so long, I thought, well, and I couldn't stop thinking about this thing. So I went and did an inner voice, and I came back, and everything was, the thoughts about the situation were kind of all in order. They were, no longer, you know, going on in a particular direction that wasn't so great. They now were, oh, I guess I could look at it this way or whatever. And I
So
came right
how
down. I
does
was able to go back to sleep.
all right? So it tells you how to think?
It doesn't tell you how to think, but because your brain comes into a calm focus, it kind of it balances the emotions out. So whatever emotion was driving that subconscious somehow, whatever
How,
emotion was driving it, then that kind of gets balanced out through
how?
the different tones.
Oh, so it's mute with but
Right,
by
that's
your
what
normal
the
speech.
report, yeah, the report comes along with a binary. Let me see if I can
Right.
get,
So it will
maybe I
do
can get
some
it on
kind
my
there's
phone and
I
kind of
bet you
see.
there's some neuroscience behind that then.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's all it's
Oscillate
all
some
about
GABA
frequency.
waves and stuff inside your brain
It does
to
all kinds,
balance.
yeah, it
Yeah.
does all kinds of things. But the inner voice would come up with something like this. Okay, I don't know if you can see
No,
it
you have
or
to go back a bit.
I
Yeah.
don't know what
No. Can you
to
put the
do.
link in for other people in this if anybody's watching
Yeah,
going, oh, that
it's
sounds
called
really cool.
the machine is called AO Scan by Solex. And they're doing all kinds of things. The fellow who started this company had a son who had cerebral palsy. And when he was about 6 years old, he was starting to show signs of, decline already at 6 years old. So he took him all over the world and all over the country here and all over the world and tested different, and researched all these different modalities to help his brain, to help him balance things out. And he came back and he developed a chamber called, I think it's the alpha chamber is what he calls it. And because it brings a person into an alpha wave state where they can truly heal.
Yeah.
And
Which is
and then
alpha theta, is
there's
hypnosis.
movement in this machine as well. So anyway, that's how this equipment came about. His son is now 45 and he has a black belt in karate.
Oh, wow.
He really reversed so much of what he
Wow.
was
So, so
experiencing.
has this been used with people living with dementia?
Well, that's my, they haven't specifically said for people with dementia, but I gotta believe it helps, especially with early stage when people are aware, then they can, listen to that inner voice. I do the inner voice before I start my day with my clients, and then before I go to bed, I do it too. Um, so it's just and there's so many different
Is it
modalities that are
expensive,
actually
Carrie
on
Ann?
the software.
How
Pardon?
much is it? How much is it? That's what everybody
It
wants
is
to
a monthly, there is a monthly cost of $149 a month.
know. Okay. And then, so do you rent the equipment or do you own it?
No, it's an app.
Oh, I see.
It's an app. It comes up as an app on my phone or my tablet. I
Yeah.
just I just have it as an app. And I don't know why I can't. I don't know what has to be done. Maybe if it was this way or something.
I
I don't,
can't see it. No, yeah.
yeah, I
But-
don't know how
No, I
to
don't either.
get, oh, that's a different thing.
That's all right.
Yeah,
Just
I
put the
don't
link
know how
in
to
the
get it up there, but you can see. So I can, there you go. So I can either, this is where the little microphone is, that's where I'll talk. And only for 10 seconds, it's all it needs.
and it can pick up your
And it
move.
picks that up. Now, if I go to the other side, then it will also key in physical things that are going on and what might need to be done. And then let me see if I'll just do a little thing here. I have to turn the sound on. So there's one of the little songs that is just about classic piano type thing, but they have other different songs you could put on there too.
Wow.
And then you're just listening to that and you can see the different color. I don't know if you can see the different colors on it.
No, yeah, you
I
need
don't
to.
know where I'm going with this thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can see how on the top there, you can see the different colors.
So that's AD. Is that an A or an O? AO scan.
AO Scan
AO scan is the
is
app.
the company and
Okay.
it's by Solex.
All right. So
And
everybody.
you can actually go on to let me turn it off so we're not listening to
Well, that could help with all sorts of people's fears, as you say, ruminate. We keep on saying that as hypnotists will always be needed, but
yeah,
will we?
yeah.
If they're,
Who
if
knows?
they're creating things like that?
Who knows? I mean, it's it's
If somebody
some
can,
way, yeah. I choose to know, but it is about how we're feeling right now and how to
wow.
manage that. I think there's what I do with my clients is I record a CD. I know that's out of date, but my equipment is so good. Tech people tell me I never get that sound out of anything else. So anyway, I record a CD of the hypnosis and I really teach people how their conscious and their unconscious mind are communicating with each other. And then this is just something that I've started to do now when they first come in. I get them into the machine. And so every week or whatever, when they come, then we do a scan, and then I send them the music. So they're listening to my CD and they're listening to the music. They only have to listen to that music 3 minutes. In 3 minutes, their emotional whatever will be balanced.
Wow. And for how long?
I choose to, I like, I can't say how long, but it's about being aware of how you're feeling more than anything.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
And
to
I just do
how
it
effective
as a
that is.
precautionary thing when I'm before I start working.
So does it help?
Because what I can do with this is I can clear energy and protect and clear the EMFs out of the space, ground myself, and then I usually do the inner voice.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's what I do with them too. And I just keep learning more and more about it. But I had this vertigo thing this summer, so I couldn't work much. So I learned a lot more about this equipment that I've had actually for a couple years.
And did it help you with that?
Tremendously. And it has a program, because I can put a continuous program in and all kinds of different physical things. And I programmed ears and balance and dizziness. And what I found is if I was waking up and I was kind of really feeling that, and I put that program on a continuous thing, it would go away. The dizziness.
Right. So this is going to be fascinating. If anybody else, as they're watching this, to do it with somebody living with dementia.
Yeah. Let me just look. I'm curious.
I think that would be,
we're talking about this. Is
so if you can look into that and see if it's been used by anybody, because that would be huge for caregivers to be able to. I mean, it's just whether that especially if they're at the beginning, and if they're overwhelmed, or to help them sleep.
No, I don't see anything, because it has all kinds of different
I wonder if there are any contraindications, things like that. Does it help you sleep, Carrie Ann, as well, though?
Absolutely. It helps me sleep by doing that, but also I can create, and I program into these little dots here the frequency for sleep.
Right.
And so then now they last for 72 hours, these little guys do. So because sleep is programmed in there, I have to erase it in the morning and program something else in there.
Okay.
For the day, I would just do a basic scan of what I should program.
So isn't it fascinating? And there is stuff out there.
Yeah.
So we always need to be aware that there's always something else to learn.
And it's just the beginning, because he's now created this adjunct to this equipment and this software that he calls the hub. And the hub is doing basically the same thing that his theta chamber does. He said the only thing that the theta chamber does not have is, or the hub doesn't have, is the movement, the oscillation that's in the chamber.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
interesting. Fascinating.
It's kind of fun. I'm always
so and you can, because it's so portable, you can take that with you to somebody's house.
Yes, absolutely.
So that's marvelous. Okay, so we know that that's a thing that potentially people could look into. Now so again, the reason why it's so,
and they're welcome to call me or anything if you
okay, no, great. No, that's
feel free to give my
Yeah,
information.
well, they'll be in the Facebook groups, they'll be able to get in touch with you.
Okay.
So the other, so we're going back to the about the environment, people's environment, because I mentioned
Right.
about red, but actually it's also really interesting to note how people, if they get agitated when they are out and about because of different patterns, because of light and shade.
Yeah.
People living with a dementia will more likely be better off going out during the daytime. At nighttime, there is shadows,
Oh,
and shadows can cause fear. Because even as a child, we can be scared of our own shadow.
yes.
Peter Pan,
Sure.
he was very attached to his shadow. But the fact is
My
that,
dog does that when we go out at night. From the, the lights on the house or whatever, and the shadows that might be wherever, flowing.
yeah, so there you go. So exactly that sort of thing. And it's the shadow of like, or it could be like they might think it is somebody coming to attack them. So it's that whole fear thing. So it's noticing, and lamps can actually cause more shadows. So, and now this isn't for everybody. It's not it, some people will be absolutely fine with it, others not. It's for us to be cognizant of it when we go to somebody's house, noticing if there's lots of hard edges, because as sadly as people go down their journey, some of them are very agile and some not so. And that if there's going to be stumbling, or if there's going to be potential fear of falling, what could they hit themselves on? Again, it goes back to almost checking out if you've got a child, when there's little ones, we don't want hard corners hitting children.
Right. Right.
So it's about proofing it and just say, oh, and noticing what you notice. Tripping rugs, that sort of thing. And just notice, again, funny enough, I've just, as I say, come back from a client of mine there, and I'm so pleased they got themselves new chairs.
Oh.
They each got one. His is a little bit groovier than hers, but that's fine. But they both lift them up out of the
Oh, yeah.
chair.
Yeah.
So it's better for them now. They're in their 80s, so it kind of helps them get out.
Sure.
So it's one of those chairs that literally up and pops them on the floor, or it goes back and reclines and does all sorts of things. So that's really good. And so it's about just noticing, can they get out of their chair easily? What might be better? Because you'll be there to see where they're sitting. And do they need one of those electric armchairs? Again, not everybody can afford one, but I know there are affordable ones. And sometimes, sadly, of course, people are selling them on because they're not needed anymore.
Yeah.
So there's always a way to do that. Now, again, the caregiver may say to you, he's missing the toilet. He's peeing on the floor. He's missing it.
Yeah.
So show me the bathroom. Okay, we go, show me the bathroom. And now again, this isn't with everybody, because however, if this is the case, then you might notice that the toilet is white, the actual basin, the whole toilet structure is white. The wall is white behind it, and there's no contrasting colors anywhere. Maybe even the flooring is pale. Well, that means, well, where am I aiming?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
So it's like, this is where you can have maybe a blue back wall. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's painted blue instead of white, so that you can see the toilet basin. And then you can always put a coloured ping pong ball in the toilet bowl.
Oh, that's really interesting. So then what happens though with a flush or anything? Will it?
No, ping pong ball goes down, pops back up
Okay.
because it's so light.
Really ingenious.
And it's same for children. That's what you do for little boys. That's what I did with my boys, you see.
I didn't know that when my boys were going through.
Yeah. So they try and hit the ping pong ball instead of everywhere else.
That's kind of cool.
Making it a game.
Yes.
All goes back to having fun and what else can we do? And what else can we do? Again, people may not be eating at the table. And actually, you know, it is about having you sitting at the table with them eating, or if you are doing trays, make sure that you know, that it's not going to fall and things like that, because people do watch TV and eat, you know, let's face it, you know, that's what people do. But how is that happening? Is it, you know, and to find out and just make sure that it's, you know, all okay. My client at the moment he wears a bib, okay, but it's got a little bow tie on it, and it's a male bib. And it's interesting because I actually suggested as well that she get one as well. They're both wearing them, you see.
Yeah.
And then it's like, but hers is more like a little apron, so it's like, so it's fun. It's like, oh, look at this new one I got. And it's like, or it's got tartan on it, or it's this, or it's that. So it makes it fun.
Yeah.
And then he doesn't mind. And then if she's doing it as well, or if it's vice versa, you know, it depends on who's got the dementia. But that means that they both are.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you know, best one in the world, we can all dribble our food down us.
There you go. Save a lot of washing.
Yeah, and yeah, well, exactly. And it's just for that. Saves the, it's just a little, you know, but we don't want to make it like you're a baby, because that's undignified. It's not like, oh, here's your bib, you know, and it's like, no,
Right.
here's your little fun, you know. It's like it's about doing it with dignity and just saying, I'm wearing one, here's yours, because we want to preserve our clothes. That's it.
Yeah.
And just say, this is how it is. I've got mine, here's yours. And joining in.
Yeah.
Joining in.
Sure.
And that's what we say to the caregiver.
Part of it.
Yeah. And it's like, you know, I'm sure you
included.
can. Yes. And then it's like, oh, you know, which one do we want to wear today? As opposed to like, oh, here you are. You know, it's all in the tone of voice. It's all in, can't say that often enough, really. It's about making things jolly. In fact, that's what I was with that video that you'll watch next week is with this gentleman. He gave time. He gave time to his wife.
Yeah.
So it's massive. It's about not being in a rush, and it's about having time to do these things. So if it took 40 minutes to get his wife dressed, it took 40 minutes to get her dressed.
Mm-hmm.
If it took another half an hour for them to go to the bathroom, for just it, that's what it took. And that's all fine.
Yeah.
And he would sing to her, and he would just, honestly, it was, you know, it was so lovely. And you see, this is what we need to understand, that in care homes, they don't have that time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so that's why it's wonderful if they can get trained a little bit better and have and I know sadly they don't necessarily get paid well, so it's like it's a time thing and who's going to train them. But some are absolutely brilliant in these homes. Some homes are fantastic, and some homes aren't.
They're
And
just homes. They're just a
it's
facility.
it's very unkind, and yeah, and it breaks my heart. So however, so what can we do? We help our people, the caregivers, so that they are armed with stuff to do, so that and we give them, it's okay if it takes that long, it takes that long. There's no rushing police, there's it's and we give them a lot of support. And again, with that whole thing about they can get resentful and angry, and we did that with all the emotional roller coaster, and make sure that they have times when they can go out and be themselves. So I've just come back from my client. She was about to go out as well, and he said, "Are you leaving me?" And she said, "Yes." "And what do I always say?" He goes, "I don't know." And she goes, "I'm coming back. I'm leaving it and I'm coming back." And I remember, because I remembered the last time I was there, he was really nasty again. He was being very mean with his words. She goes, "I can handle anything, but not when he's mean. Not when he's mean. Not when he's telling me to shut up and I'm and all these other horrible things."
Yeah, sure.
So what he's and I reminded her that she was the co-regulator. So it's like, and he goes, "Well, she talks all the time," because that's another thing he's mean about. He goes, "You just talk all the time. You never shut up," because she does talk a lot. And I said, "Well, she's a woman. She talks a lot."
Yeah.
And so I said, "Well, maybe when you're going out, then you can also say, 'Yes, and I'm coming back. And now it's time for your quiet time. You can get to have your quiet time now. You get to have your quiet time." And she says, "And yes, and then when I'm back, and if I'm quiet," he says, "What's wrong?" Because he expects me to be noisy. She goes, "Then I know I can talk." Okay. And she stopped the finger wagging. And it is very, very interesting. But that's what we're there for, constantly giving little. You could try this. I don't say do this, do that. I just say, I wonder what it would be like if you tried this. You could do this. What would that be like? And because I'm not going to tell anybody what to do. That's their choice. That's their choice. And I asked them both, "What does that sound like?" Anyway, it was great. He was really with it today. I'll put some pictures of us in the Facebook group, because he was wearing a silly hat and we were dancing together. So it's and I got a very nice Christmas gift from them as well, so that was really nice. And I gave them a Christmas gift, because that's what we do. We get you get close to people, and it's a nice thing to do. And also, I mean, and she shared this with me. I don't know what you think. And again, we get some wonderful things from our clients, don't we? And instead of saying, because she said to me, we don't say passing away or anything. We just say when the elephant steps on you. And I just said,
"That's cute."
I know. I said, "I think I might steal that one." She said, "Go ahead." But she said, "That's what I always told my children, that when the elephant steps on you, then that's it, your time's up." When the elephant steps on you. So when the elephant steps on you. Isn't that cute?
It's very cute.
Instead of, passing or died or dead, it's just
I'm moving on.
moving on. The elephant stepped on you.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
I think
Some
that's
people
very
might not
cute.
like.
I like
Yeah,
that.
it's a nice one for children. But of course we can't get, I don't know. And if it puts a smile on someone's face, well, yeah, it means the same as dying, but the elephant stepped on you. It's like, okay. There's something almost jolly about it in a way.
Yeah.
I would be interested.
A little bit of a joke.
Yeah, I would be interested to see what other people think about that one, but there we go. It won't be for everybody, of course, but it tickled me for sure.
Yeah, I
And it's
like it.
what they use, and it's what they use. So that's what I will use with them,
Yeah,
because we always use our clients' language, you see.
yes.
So, and it's and again, so it's the words they use, that their terminology for passing away is the elephant stepped on you. And so I need to remember that for them.
Yeah.
And other people, of course, you wouldn't necessarily say that with somebody who don't know it at all. You go, because they'll be going, what? However, it's as I say, it's that's how it would talk about it. And it's interesting as well because he's 84. I don't know what dementia he's got. He has not got Alzheimer's. He has not got because he's too with it still for that. And he's been in this like stage for like 10 years, the same kind of stage. So we don't know which one he's got. He's getting more and more wobbly with his walking though. So we're going to find out on the 16th of January, because he's going back to the good neurologist, not that awful one. Yeah, who wouldn't even talk to him, and didn't recognize him as a person. So we will find out which one he's got. But he's got this like reflux problem, and
Right.
they said to him, so you got to drink water, you got to stop, you can't eat after 5 o'clock at night, you can't do this, you can't do that. And they put all these restrictions on him. And it's like, I said, well, how do you feel about that? And he just, and I said his name, how do you feel about that, Bill? And he's like, well, I'm not doing that one. I'm going to carry on eating after 5 o'clock. And I said, I know, because, at the end of the day, Carrie Ann, he's 84. Why
Lifetime of habit.
Why would we want to, he could die anyway at 85 and then not have balance of life by enjoying food. It's like he's lived his life as well.
Yeah.
He's had a good life.
Yeah.
It's like, why do we suddenly want to make all miserable his last few years before the elephant steps on him?
Or he gets squished.
Yeah. So it's like, no. It's like, to me, it doesn't make sense. So that's the kind of thing that we're there to reassure them and go, I agree, because it's what they want. It's what they want.
It's always their choice.
Yeah, always a good choice.
That's the biggest thing for anybody.
So they've got, so I was looking around the house, they've got a lot of Christmas decorations up, lovely. And, they enjoy that. And I reminded his wife, they've got the family coming round, for each grandchild to go into his study with him. And I said, at a private talk, and let him tell them all of his stuff, because he's got his whole thing of guitars up. He's got his soccer coaching that he used to do. And he's got another whole thing about some other area of his life that he did up on different walls in his room. Okay. Because he's got his own study. And I said, so he gets to tell his story on a one-to-one. So there's not lots of background noise. Mm-hmm. Because that can be very disconcerting for somebody living with a dementia. And then again, he's telling his story. He knows it. Each time he's been reminded of who he is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah. So in that kind of a situation, say there's a large family or whatever, is it best to, or will most people with dementia kind of take themselves away and be in a study or a little office versus being out in the crowd with a group of people?
They may get agitated. They may get quite agitated if there's a lot of noise going on, especially little ones.
Yeah.
and may want to leave.
Mhm.
Now, if it's their own home that the people are all coming to, they may want them all to leave. As well, like we've said before, if somebody is very down the road of their dementia, it's probably
Yeah.
best for you to visit them at their place and not
Mhm.
take them out of it and leave them in their home where they are, because routine
Yeah.
is very important.
Yeah.
Routine, because then they know where they are and what they're doing. And of course, around Christmas holidays, routine can be put out. So
Interrupted.
it's trying to
Yeah.
keep routine as much as possible. It's about, say if you do have, everybody's going to see grandma has dementia, granddad doesn't, but everybody's going to the house. It can be, grandma hasn't been able to do the cooking either, but the other, maybe their daughter
Everybody's
or
bringing
son,
something.
yeah, everybody's bringing stuff. It's about one-to-one conversations with the person living with the dementia, and making sure that you are sat on the dominant side of them, their right hand side, because they will feel more secure, and making again sure that they do eat and drink plenty of water. One of the worst things that will happen to people is that they get a UTI,
Mhm.
and from lack of water. And when it's winter, we're not as thirsty.
Yeah.
And we've got to keep on drinking water, because, of course, it makes the brain nice. And, brain is 90% water, and hearing good things as well. So now, the brain, so if it shrinks, then if they're getting the UTI as well, then that's bacteria, and of course then the behavior can get worse, or disorientation, and then sadly that can lead on to bad behaviors. And then people are very happy to prescribe antipsychotics, whereas all it is a UTI. Treat the UTI, get that checked, always get the waterworks checked.
My doctor, he's an MD.
Yeah.
But I can remember when I first started to see him, what he told me to do for UTIs, because I had called him. He said, do this first. He said, take 100 to 150,000 IUs of vitamin A per day for like 4 days, 5 days, and you should be good, and it should go away right away. And he says, if not, then he said, call me. But it did. It went away right away, and that worked and still does if I feel like that anymore. But I was having them because I had a bladder. My bladder was prolapsed quite a bit, like about stage 3. Well, I'm probably 4 by the time I had surgery. And that's all I ever did, is take the vitamin A. And even before the surgery, because the doctor was saying now, because they don't want you going into surgery with UTI. And I said, well, this is what I do. He says, I don't have a problem with that. Go ahead.
Brilliant. Thank you for sharing.
So,
That's
I mean,
so helpful.
yeah,
That
because
is so helpful. I remember having infections when I was younger, and my daughter does. So I'll tell her that.
yeah,
Uh,
it works
it's
really well.
it's horrendous, and it can make you very grouchy, and
Very.
and it can change your mood. And people don't understand that. Well, when you're younger and you just say, well, I've got I've got
Mhm,
cystitis or whatever, well,
mhm,
get away with it.
mhm.
And but when you're older and they don't understand what's going on, so yeah, no, very,
My mother had that. She had dementia, and she had that.
yeah.
One
And they get them
body
a lot because they don't drink enough.
Um,
or lack of, like you say, certain vitamins and what have you.
right.
I don't know why just some people, they just get them more as they get older. So that's really helpful. Thank you, Carrie Ann. So that's all about, you know, as I say, everybody's got the leaflet, the handout, email about creating a friendly environment. It's all written down. I don't need to, I'm not going to read it off
Okay.
because you can all read it.
Okay. I'll get it. Yeah,
I
I'll
like
get
to have
it.
more of discussion. That's to me not, you know,
It's in
not
my
really.
computer, and I haven't really gotten into
Yeah.
it all weekend. I've had one thing
Yeah, and
after
it's you know, a lot of it's quite
another.
obvious, you know, so it's written down, so you'll be able
Yeah.
to read that and know what to do and what to look out for in somebody's environment, because it's all part of what we do. We go in as far as calibrating our clients, you know, because we're always looking at their body language, at the way they speak, their tone, their, you know, everything, the way they hold themselves. And now we're going to be, you know, calibrating their environment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
And their space. And then, and it's like, you know, and just checking it out. Because it's all part of their situation.
Sure.
The environment is everything. We know that from our own clients now. They come and see us, we sort them out, but they're going back into an environment where it's not very nice.
Right.
It's,
Right.
we can
What
only
does
help
it feel
them.
like?
Yeah, so sometimes we can only help people manage certain things. We can't actually until their environment changes.
Yeah.
So it's so that's why this is all really important. So yeah, so I'm sure you'll enjoy watching my conversation with
I'm looking forward to it,
yeah,
actually.
I'll put it straight on because it'll give you more time to watch it
Okay.
before Christmas. And so then the week after, my goodness, which will be then week 7. What are we going to be doing? There we go. Let's have a little look, because okay. We are doing understanding brain health and cognitive reserve, which is about the brain's ability to cope with damage. I don't know necessarily so much about that, but we're going to be doing more about probably with the brain synapses and how hypnosis, with, as we've already spoken about before, that wonderful word that I forgot that time, acetylcholine, can help recreate new brain synapses. So to get rementia instead of, you know, which is regaining of cognitive ability.
Yes.
So that's what we'll be talking about next time, and giving some brain health tips. Okay, so that will be fun. So that will be the weekend, the Monday after the 23rd, whatever that is.
Right before New Year's.
Yeah. So I think it's like the 29th or something. Might be. I don't know. Is it? No, it might be the 30th. I don't know. I love how I can forget and can't do things on here when we're
The
doing
30th might be New Year's. No,
31st is New Year's Eve.
31st is New Year's
Yeah.
Eve. So that may be the 30th.
Yeah. All right. Well, always nice chatting to you. And so I won't see you next week, but we will again on the 30th, on the Monday after.
Okay. I look forward to that.
All right. All
You
right. Take care. All right. Bye. Bye now. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.